worked without me having to mess with it.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Hi,
Let us
everybody.
know what you are reading down in the comments. And
Hi.
Tiffany, are you reading or YouTubing? Because I know you said you were tired. So
I finished a book earlier today on audio at work, which was the newest in the Cupcake Bakery, the Sugar Plum Poisoned. And I started a new one and I'm about halfway through reading to me the third Stony Brook Farm series, Cozy by Aaron Scott. But I think I'm just going to watch during this sprint um, because I'm very, very tired. I think I'm just adjusting to the time change. And I was telling her like last night, getting off at 9, it was really 10 or 10:30. And I'm like, oh, that's way beyond my bedtime.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think because you go to bed early, that it's really harder for you to adjust to the time
So
because you turn into a pumpkin so early that yeah.
I do. I really do. I really do.
I am in the middle of like so many books. Uh, and look at me reading all kinds of nonfiction. I don't know
Ooh, look at
what's wrong
you.
with me, but I think like I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do my gardening and stuff next year. Because let's face it, this body, it might be 48, but it feels 70. And my dad is 75. And so you've got two of us that can hardly get around trying to do things. So I'm looking into like the hydroponic gardening and stuff. But I only want to do it if I can put my stuff in food grade plastic. I don't want to do it how it's in here because they've got the PVC pipe or whatever. But I thought it would be interesting to read. And my dad's like, "Here, read this." And so I was like, "Okay." So I have that. I'm also trying to make myself realize that if I do my own thing with my own foods and my own stuff that and get a lot of the processed stuff out. So I'm reading something called the Omnivore's Dilemma, and so far, I've learned that corn is in everything. It might be disguised under a different name, but it's in everything. And like corn is like something that my dad's not supposed to have because of his diabetes. And so I'm like, oh, well, this is interesting. It's even in toothpaste. I mean, it's in everything
Mm.
in some form. So it's like, well, okay, this is interesting. So I'm hoping that it'll scare me enough to not want to eat processed foods if I read it. And then
Gotcha.
I'm still working on uh, The Quest of Danger by Stuart Gibbs. I may
Excellent.
work on this one tonight. It comes out tomorrow, and so I'd like to get it finished. But like I am in the middle of so many things, and I don't know what I want to read or how I might just do. I might just read a chapter here, a chapter there.
Gotcha. Well, I canceled the Discovery Channel app that we have, the streaming. So I'm trying to finish watching the Christmas baking show.
I was gonna say I thought that had your baking or something on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it has well I think they call it like holiday Christmas wars or something like that. It's basically like a cake decorating competition for Christmas. So I'm trying to there's like I'm on season 2 and there's 9 seasons. So there's no way I'm going to finish it, but I'm just trying to watch what I can.
That's cool.
But I got rid of that because I wanted to get Friendly just for a few months because
For
they have,
Hallmark.
of course, the Hallmarks, but they also have the Great American
Yeah.
channel this year. And so I was like, okay, I definitely want to get Friendly. So I'm switching it out because we always keep Hulu, we always keep Netflix, we always keep Disney Plus because that's packaged with our Hulu, and we always keep Peacock because Peacock has a lot of hockey games. So those are like always, but like then we play around with the other
Yeah.
ones.
I do a lot of rotations too, like BritBox and Acorn and things like that. I can only have one at a time because that's all I can afford. So it's like it depends on what I'm wanting to watch or what have you. I'll mix them
Yeah,
around and stuff. But
yeah.
say, Sonia says, "Hello, everyone. I can't stay long tonight, but I just wanted to say hello. I have my AC cranked on Antarctica so I can drink some peppermint mocha and read. We had the high of 80s today. Yeah, it is still like it's dark now and it's 71 degrees here. And it's weird because I had to take the plastic off my window so that I could turn the air on because I was like, I can't do it. I had my little fan going over here and the ceiling fan, and I'm like, no, it's too hot up here. I had to, to turn the air on. So, so yeah, it's crazy. And then like
It is
Wednesday is
great.
supposed to be 80, and then Thursday is 59. So
Yeah, it's wacky. It is wacky.
and Sonia said that she is reading The Cider Mill Coven by Vanessa Lambert. It's throwing all the early 90s trends in Apple cookiness, and I'm here for that.
I know. It looks adorable. I'm gonna have to try it.
Pat says, "Good evening, everyone. Well, my roommate Christy is having her house remodeled, and
Oh,
all day today, moving furniture from one room to another. Tomorrow is my room, adding a handicap bathroom. Well, that's
well,
cool."
that's awesome.
And then she said, "I'm halfway through Four Puddings and a Funeral by H. White Hannah. Loving it. Plus, Chirp has a Lethal and Old Lace by Duffy Brown for $1.99. Started listening to that tonight. Happy reading, everyone." And then she
Awesome.
also says, "Don't forget the thumbs up for my channel." So thank you, Pat.
Pat, that's so sweet.
And Jesse East says, "Hello, everyone. I finished the Garden Trilogy by Nora Roberts. Enjoyed it
Nice.
very much. And I started reading The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Pinner.
Nice.
And she's also having chicken and wings with sweet
Ooh,
potato fries for supper."
I love
And
sweet
I
potato
seen
fries.
that like earlier when I was on here by myself waiting in the backstage area. And I thought, oh, it's so funny that people just automatically tell us what they're eating because, you always ask anyway. So
I do love it. And I love sweet potato fries. So good choice.
Amy says, "Hi, everyone. I'm currently reading For Tonight, Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. I'm at 3%. I'm waiting on Iron Flames by Rebecca Yarrow to be
Of
released tomorrow.
course.
Yay!
Of course.
I will be reading Iron Flames tomorrow."
No doubt.
Every other book gets put aside, and there you go.
I think the
And,
whole world,
yeah,
at least BookTube, is
at
going
least
to
half
just
of BookTube, anyway. And Alicia says, "Hello, everyone. Currently reading Fourth Wing. Enjoying. Cool.
nice.
She's getting ready so that she
I
can
was
read."
about to say you're preparing.
And Amy says to Alicia, "Iron Flames, a sequel to Four Flames, is released tomorrow." Yeah. Jessica Lynn says, "Hello, everyone. I will be reading Iris Kelly Doesn't Date and hopefully finishing it. I will then start my green cover scavenger hunt pick, which I will be reading Case of the Blues by
Yay! I approve.
And Alicia says, "Yes, I want to read that one right after." That's what I figured, getting ready. And Mother Goose says, "Hi, everyone. I'll be reading Rosalind Palmer Takes the Cake by Alexis Hall." Hi, Lizzie B says, "I'm finishing Christmas on Crumcurry. Crumcurry. Then only 7 billion more holiday romances for me to read. I swear I've added a dozen or so new ones to my TBR each day."
I feel you.
It happened.
I feel you. There's so many I want to read too.
Allergies are bothering me, and my nose itches. Sorry.
Ugh,
And Nadine says, "Hi, everyone. I'll be reading Portrait in Death by J.D. Robb, number 16 in the Death series."
nice.
And Cajun says, "Hi, everyone. Reading The Last Devil to Die, Thursday Murder Club, number 4. I need to get to number 3, but I didn't like the narrator change, and so I haven't gone back to it. Because I started it, and then I was like, this doesn't sound right.
Okay.
And Cav says, "Hi, everyone. I'm being super book nerdy and organizing all my series lists into binders for next year while I listen to Alaska Mountain Search by Sarah Varlin and Love Inspired Suspense." Well, that's cool.
Alaska Mountain Search. That sounds good.
And Goose says, "Hey, kids." And Purple Reinhardt says, "Hi, Stormy and Tiffany and Cairo, hoping to finish Caramel Crush." Got like 56 pages left.
Nice.
Oh, you're almost there.
Love
Hi,
it.
Melanie. Said hi, everyone. I'll be reading The Cloisters by Katie Hayes. Hi, Barbara. Says good afternoon. Going to finish Tatum Comes.
Yay.
And Cav says, oh, look, Hyrule. He's so chill, gracing us with his benevolent stare.
He is very chill. And yeah, that's the spelling. You are correct.
And Daniel says, hi, everyone. Hi.
Oh, bud.
Who says, I need a kick in the pants. I'm in a slump and I haven't been able to read anything this month. Oh, no.
Lou.
Maybe a favorite reread is in order. Oh, and I don't know why this, because it's I said favorite. It reminds me. I am also listening to Anna Green Gables now, and I'm 17% into it. And I know some people said that they thought that the beginning was a little boring, but I've like enjoyed it so far. And
Good.
Anne is very dramatic. But in a fun kind of way. Like she makes me chuckle all the time because she's so like imagine and she talks nonstop and they're like, shut up. And it's like so she's making me chuckle anyway, so I'm liking it so far.
Good.
And Annie says, hi y'all, reading The Enemy at Home, World War II historical fiction. And Mother Goose says, Storm, we have a hydroponic indoor herb garden and it is great. That is cool. Yeah, that's
Oh,
one of the things I was like, I wanted to grow some herbs. And I know you can they have some really cool things that you can do indoor. And I've been watching this guy, and that's like get eaten into my reading time too. Cause like I've been watching a bunch of homesteaders and then I've been watching I started watching this guy who does the hydroponic stuff. And he's very inventive about the things that he makes it out of, like leftover, like if you get those deals of ramen that come in like the packs where it's got like the black package and stuff. It's not like the one you put on the stove, but you put in the microwave or whatever.
I'm not sure.
And it's the thing that you eat it in, the little tray. He keeps those and he uses those to make sprout seeds and stuff in or
Okay.
whatever. I was like, well, I would never thought that.
Yeah.
Because it's food grade, because I mean food was packed in it and you're supposed to eat your food in it, so it has to be food grade.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And fuss free book gal, hi, says love Cairo.
Oh, Dinko,
And
he's a good buddy. All
Crystal says, hi everyone, I'm reading To Walk in Sunshine by Sally Lady and Little Farms in the Ozark by Roger Lee McBride.
nice.
And Christy says, hi all, I'm here in Texas. We started to get cooler weather. Now it's mid 80s this week. Yeah. Yeah, well, we were like freezing last week and like you had to turn the air on this week, so
Yeah, it's been crazy.
crazy. And Barbara says, Tiffany, you need to read Tatum book. I know I keep saying it, but it really gives all the feels.
And I love Tatum. He's one of my favorites. I love him.
Hi,
Yes,
Book
ma'am.
Zealot. She says, dropping in to say hello. Already gave a thumbs up. Awesome.
Thank you. Hello.
And Fuss Free Book Gal says, cleaning out my Kindle books tonight. Too many books. I
Oh,
feel you there. I know all about the too many books on my Kindle.
yes, especially because I can't figure out how sometimes to search my Kindle, or no, I can figure out how to search my Kindle. That's not true. Like today when I was trying to get A to read something to me at work, I couldn't search A under the Kindle to find what I was specifically looking for. And I was like, I have way too much stuff on here as I'm trying to like find what it was.
When you're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, trying to find that book that you bought
Yes.
last week or whatever,
Yes.
and you
Ridiculous.
bought too many books, or yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of how mine is.
Yeah. So I
Because like
feel
I'll
you.
download a whole bunch of NetGalley books, and then I did like they had the stuff your Kindle for like thrillers and things like that and all that stuff. So I bought some of those, and then I just bought some 99-cent books and stuff. And I'm like, well, where was the book I was reading that was on NetGalley? I had to go find it. And Jessica Lynn says, I had homemade tacos for dinner. Is very yummy and actually quite
Ooh,
quick to make. Yes.
good choice.
Hi, Esther says, Stormy, for years now, I grow my tomatoes in buckets from local grocery store bakery department. They get frosting in. See, somebody else in a comment on that one guy's that grows his hydroponic stuff, they said that he should ask the bakery at Walmart if they could have the icing buckets or they would sell them for fairly cheap
Yeah,
and stuff. And I'm like, well, it doesn't hurt to ask because we need more containers. We don't have a lot. And so
yeah,
so I've been doing that for 10 years. Uh, no, on my old knees weeding as there is no weeding. Yeah.
yeah. That's
See, and that's it
perfect.
because I have like arthritis in my knees. So I have to get in a chair and then I'm like, my lungs and my stomach can't do it because I'm trying to weed and things. And we have a tractor, but it has a flat tire, and it's expensive to buy a flat tire. And I'm like, he's never going to get it going to where he can even plow the garden type thing. And so I'm like, I've got to come up with something else because we're just getting too old to do it. And
Yeah, well,
want
it
to
sounds
eat
like this might be a
healthier
good
because I would
alternative.
like to get him off of being like the diabetes things, and so where he's healthy and we're both healthier. So
Yeah.
and fuss free book got woo yes Iron Flame tomorrow. And Cajun says, "Oh man, Kyrie yawn just made me yawn. Makes me miss when the cats and I would yawn back and forth."
Yeah, he's silly, aren't you, baby? You're such a good boy.
And Cajun said, "I like the new narrator for Thursday Murder Club. Once I got used to it, well, maybe I just need to try it again." But okay, so I just noticed that it's 18 after, so we will jump into a reading sprint and no fancy pretty things because my computer doesn't like me. So we'll
No
just
problem. It's no biggie. This is
read
just
to the top of
perfect
the
the way
hour.
it is.
Yep, we'll read to the top of the hour and happy reading, everyone.
Happy reading.
So, how did everybody do? How was your YouTube watching or TV watching, Tiffany?
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. I was making Kevin watch some TikTok videos I wanted him. He gets, I don't care, and then like he'll see something funny. I'm like, see, it's
Yeah.
funny. Anyways, really good. Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
How about you all?
I had my dinner. Garrett starts dinner at like 10 to 6. I'm like, dude, I got off work an hour ago.
What?
If you're going to be a good little home husband, you need to get on the ball.
Tell him it's Mondays. He needs to be quicker.
Right? But because I know Tiffany's asking, we had mushroom and chicken fettuccine with those bow tie pastas.
Oh, yummy.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah. So I am reading Bewitched, Bothered, and Biscotti by Bailey Cates. I have 40 minutes left. I will finish this tonight. I got most of it listened to today at work. So, and I'm working on my shawl that I had to restart because I'm an idiot. So I was working away on it, and so you like increase on the one side. See how it's getting longer on the one side? So I now have a little thing here to show which is the front. Because what happened was that I had the front on the wrong side, and all of a sudden it went whoop, and that was increasing on the other side. Damn it! Ripped the whole thing out, start again. Crafting is fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, Star, how did you do?
I did pretty good. I worked on this one here. I'm trying to see what page I'm on. I get up close here. I'm on page 111 of like I think 160.
Oh yeah, you're getting close.
Quest of Danger. So yeah, I'm getting pretty close. Well, it helps that it has like it has pictures.
We like pictures.
Yeah. And then about the last 10 minutes, I decided to switch over to Of Hoaxes and Homicide and read a little bit on that. I'm about 15% into that one.
Nice.
Got to make my rounds because I'm in so many books right at the moment.
Visit all the friends.
Yeah. Let's see, where was I? And Jessica Lynn says that I'm waiting on Iron Flame as I wasn't a big fan of the book one, but the cliffhanger, I want to read book 2, but my library has 152 holds on 8 copies, so I will wait a bit.
Wow.
And Christy says, almost done with Right Behind You by Lisa Gardner. Yay to breaking my DNF train I was on. Yay.
Good for you, Christy.
And Barbara says that Thursday Murder Club books, you must read physically read the books. The narrator is garbage. I like the narrator on the first 2 books.
I really liked the narrator.
It's the 3rd book. It got a new narrator. And
okay.
And I don't mind that one.
Can we just get Helen Mirren to narrate all of them? Because that's who I picture for the main character.
I know, yeah. He would be like,
excuse me, Dame Helen Mirren, you're not busy right now, are you? Could you narrate these books?
Melmac says, hi Storm, hi Tiffany, hi everyone. I'm reading To Catch a Leaf by Kate Collins, number 12 in the Flower Shop. I just started it.
Sarah, I'm very sorry that she didn't include you.
I knew that was coming as soon as I saw the comment.
It wouldn't be the same if I didn't.
And Esther says, love Anne with an E. Yeah, I was telling him I'm 17% into Anne of Green Gables on audio. Really? And I'm really liking it. I think that Anne is she's very different, but she's very fun. She like, don't you think this is like really cool? I really love it. What kind of name would you give this? I think, this is the kind of, would you call me this? I can't remember what she wanted to be called. And they're like, no, what's your name? And she's like, but this name is so much better than my name. And they're like, well, what's your name? And she's like, funny. Anne Shirley. And she's like, I call this, she's like, it was like a pond or something. Well, I'm going to call this the shiny lake of whatever. She's like so over the top and very imaginative about like everything. And the couple that get her or whatever. They were wanting a boy and end up with a girl. And so they don't know what to do with her, and she's just talking nonstop, and they're like, and it's kind of been fun so far. So.
Maybe for middle grade March or May next year, I'll try it for like the 5th time and see. I just can't get into it.
Yeah, and I think the audiobooks probably might help a little. I don't know if you tried audiobook, but
yeah.
And there's so many out there, and this one, the narrator's not too bad on the one I got. Because it's like, which one do I have to sample this one? Does this one sound good? Does this one sound
good?
Yeah,
exactly.
There's so many, so, you know.
And Lou says, okay, you've convinced me, Storm. I'll give Anne another go. Thanks. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And Amy said, Jessica Lynn, same here on the wait for Iron Flame from the library. I'm just going to buy Iron Flame myself, but I really love Fourth Wing, so I didn't want to wait several months to get Iron
Makes
Flame.
sense.
And then she said to Amy, that makes sense. I don't want to buy it since it was only a 3.5 star for me, so I will wait.
Oh, Jessica Lynn, sorry to jump in. I think that you are my friend who enjoys Christina Lauren. They have a new book coming out May of next year, and it's a fake marriage.
Oh.
Or, no, it's a real marriage for like fake reasons. Okay. I'm very excited. I may have pre-ordered.
Is that like a marriage of convenience type?
Well, so essentially, from my understanding, is that they got married because she needed housing on the school campus, and then they divorced. They thought they divorced, but they didn't act. It wasn't official. And then it turns out he has that right. He has that clause in his grandfather's will that he can't inherit unless he's been married for so many years. He's like, oh, hey, wait, I've already still got a wife. Oh. It's Christina Lauren. I'm sure it's going to be fabulous.
Yeah. That is exciting. I like Christina. Well, they're up and down for me.
They are. Say. Yeah.
I have still yet to try them. I need to try them.
The Unhoneymooner, Storm, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's the one I want to try.
I think most people, if you have a favorite Christina Lauren, it's generally the Unhoneymooners.
And Jessica Lynn says, anybody read the Orchard series by Sheila Connolly? Is there any audiobooks for them? I can't find them for book one, Bad Apple. I don't think there's audiobooks because I think Ro really likes that one. And I think she mentioned yesterday or something that I don't think there's.
I don't think there is because I read them, but I read them quite a while ago. Not all of them. I haven't read all of them, but I read a few. And I think that they're older and never came out on audio.
Mm.
And Sonia said, I made creamy tomato basil chicken and put it over a heart of palm spaghetti. It was super tasty. And that sounds
really tasty.
Mm-hmm.
And Daniel says, if I don't create collections on my Kindle, I'd never be able to find anything.
I don't know how to do that.
Tiffany, just use the search function.
I know how to do
what I was saying to her, it wasn't so much my Kindle. I know how to use the search function. But today at work, I finished a book.
Mm-hmm.
And I was starting a new book on audio. Mm-hmm. And I wanted A to read me a book because there's a book that I need to read. It's on ebook. Okay. So I'm trying to find that particular book on my Kindle Reads. And you can't search. So I'm literally going through like...
You also can't create collections.
Okay.
And
so you're just SOL essentially.
If you download it like on your Kindle, like on the Kindle app, can you find it easier on the
I want to say yes, because it might come up as like, last read.
Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And that might be a way to be able to do it.
Say that again, Storm.
Okay, so like on the Kindle app, if you
or on your Kindle itself.
On your Kindle, yeah. If you find the book that you're wanting and you download it.
And you start reading it, so you're
look at a page or two, or whatever.
Oh, so then it'll show recently open?
Yeah. Correct.
Oh, that's ingenious.
It might.
I'm going to try that.
I might try that because that might work out.
Don't quote us. We're
I don't really like to use A too often because obviously she's not the best narrator.
She sounds the same.
I wanted to get to this book. And I was at work and I'm like, okay, but I really need to get to this book. So it's just going to have to be in A form. And that's where I went.
The only other suggestion I have for that one is if you really want it is to get a Kindle Fire, a really cheap Kindle Fire, because Kindle Fire does text to speech for all Kindle books. but only a Kindle Fire, which is
it better than A?
one of these. It's the same. It's the same difference,
okay.
but you know what I mean? Like, right? But it's, if you want it, these are like $80 if you were looking for a cheap tablet. You know what I mean? Because there are some people who do it just for that reason, who get the Kindle Fire just for that reason.
Gotcha.
I was like, I don't know if the text to speech sounds different or not, or if she can.
I actually like it better than A, but that's me.
Yeah, well, that's why I was like, maybe she might sound a little bit different or something on there.
You know what? I will check it on the next sprint, and I will let you guys know.
I
give you my verdict.
A sounds better than she used to.
Yeah.
This is
I feel like they put a little more like influxes in her tone in the last few months or so. Not the last few months, but like in general, like than it used to be.
And Fuss Free Book Gal says, Storm, have you read any Mark Sisson? I don't know how you say that. Books, Health and Clean Eating. I think he's great. 80-20 adapts to age and health issues. And I haven't, but actually, like when I went and looked him up, I was like, oh, well, I've seen those books before. I just didn't know who, didn't pay attention to the author. So I did like tag one so that I can remember who he is because he's on my nonfiction tag and look at them later. We're talking about, I'm trying to revamp my gardening for next year, and I'm going to have to try to do something that's easier for me and my dad. And I'm looking into like the hydroponics, like the water.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And things like that, because there's going to be no digging in the earth and I can't get down there anyway. And
I hear
you. Just other kind of container type ideas. So I may have containers and things all over my
Oh, that'd be lovely.
And some of them you can, in like the hydroponic, some of those you can like make little ones inside so you can have a little garden all year long or whatever. And
my ex-manager ended up starting to do like work for herself at home and do all these like little, and she did that. It was like this like tower looking thing.
Yeah.
And it like grew tomatoes. It was very cool.
Yeah, I've seen people do it in apartments and stuff.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And I'm reading nonfiction because I had like this little hydroponic garden thing. And
nice.
The Omnivore's Dilemma was the other nonfiction book that I was reading about. So it's trying to make me not want to eat processed foods. That's what I'm trying to do. Is to make it's to realize all the like little hidden things, because you don't know the names of things. Like corn is in like almost everything, but by different names because of how it's processed or whatever it is. So it's very interesting. I'm not very quick with like nonfiction. I'm only like 5% into it.
I know, it take me a while too.
I wish there was an audiobook for it because I do kind of find it interesting. But yeah, with everything else, it'll take me a while.
Can I go back and correct myself?
Okay.
So the Apple Orchard series are all on audio, but I read it on ebook quite a while ago because I think they're Audible exclusive. They're all on Audible.
Okay.
But Audible exclusive.
Oh, that might be why you can find them if you're,
I'm going to go on Audible and look and see if they're exclusive, but they're definitely on Audible, including the first one. But I didn't know that because it's been a long time since I read it.
Yeah.
Well, with the health stuff I'm dealing with, Storm, I've been looking at labels. Like Garrett and I were grocery shopping yesterday, and like everything, I'm like label, looking at the sodium content because that's my big to do. So the Lipton chicken noodle soup in the package, the red box, do you guys have that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's delicious. It's 1,000 milligrams of sodium in one packet. You're only supposed to have 2,000 milligrams a day. I'm like, that's why it's so delicious.
Yeah. And that's when you go on YouTube and you look up how to make your own mix.
Yep.
Because I've been watching a lot of people making all kinds of like their own like mixes and stuff. And it's like, and then you just add like heavy whipping cream or like something or milk or whatever. And I'm like, why don't people do that anyway? Because
we bought, I bought that. What I know it as Mrs. Dash, but it's the like the seasoning stuff, right? Because there's no sodium in it. And I looked, and they have an entire website dedicated to recipes that don't have extra sodium in them. And I'm like, we need to cook for this. That's what I need. It's hard, man. I'm like, but I want pizza.
And Anita said, stopping in to say hello. Forgot it was my friend's birthday. I'll watch this tomorrow while reading Book Clubbed to Death by V.M. Burns. Have a great night, everyone. Be safe. I know she's like way gone, but hope you have a good time with your friend.
Bye, Anita.
And Jessica Ben says that sounds yummy, super yummy to someone.
Okay, so I have an update. So they're not, it is on Audible, the first one, but it doesn't look like it's Audible exclusive. However, I couldn't find it on any of my libraries, so it might be hard to find, except for on Audible. Kind of like an Ellie Alexander. I feel like those are really hard to find.
Yeah, they are. And a lot of those, like you find the last ones in the series, but not like the first ones.
Like just the last couple,
Or who's the author?
Sheila Connolly.
Sheila Connolly.
Thank you.
And Jen said, hello, everyone. I hope you are all having a good evening tonight. I'm starting a December to Remember by Jenny Bayless. Cool. Nice. And Nadine says, my favorite way to eat is the Mediterranean diet. As I've gotten older, I've noticed that if I cut out most dairy, I feel better. Yes, corn is just about in everything. The glue on envelopes has corn. Yes, everything. It's crazy. It's corn is in everything. Toothpaste. And I was just like, oh my goodness. You can't get away from it. It's everywhere.
Is it the Orchard Mystery series?
Yeah.
The last 4, 9, 10, 11, and 12 are available from Hoopla for me, from my library.
On Audible or on audio.
On audio.
I can't find any of the older ones on audio.
Correct. So it's the last probably going to be one of those where, because you want to start at the beginning, you can't,
Some of mine are on Hoopla too, but they're the later ones. And my Hoopla is the Miami-Dade, but it looks like just the last few, like you said.
Yeah, so. That sucks.
And Jesse says, I'm diabetic and I was put on metformin, 2,000 milligrams a day. I was wondering if your dad was too. Yes, he is. And there's so many things that says that metformin is bad for you. And even the doctor put me on that because he thought it would help me lose weight. But I'm like, everybody I know that's on it are still fat. So I'm like, I don't really see how this is going to help me lose weight. Like my father, I'm like, have you seen my father? It's like he's been on it for years and he's still about the same size. So it's like, I don't know if it's still, but.
I can tell you, I have now figured out exactly how all the contestants on The Biggest Loser lost all that weight. And it was water pills. Because I got put on the water pills 2 months ago. And I'm not joking with you when I say I've dropped 15 to 20 pounds in 2 months. I went from a size 16 pant to a 10. I'm super happy. But I hate the reason why, because it was all water weight. Now I'm thinking, those Biggest Loser, they were cheating. Cheating! Who knew that someone couldn't lose 20 pounds in a week?
Wow.
Well, you can lose about 10 pounds if you cut out soda.
100%.
Everything. So
my favorite was my brother. Like, he's always been a slightly heavier guy, right? And before he met his wife, he started jogging and eating better, and he lost like all this weight. And his doctor's like, how did you lose it? He goes, I cut it down from 2 Big Macs to 1.
It's those little things.
Every little thing helps.
Yeah. There you go.
And Tina says, hello, sorry I'm late. I'm reading This Magic Moment by Nora Roberts. It's so fun. The hero is a magician.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll read one more. It says, Rose says, hello, I crocheted too much during the live yesterday. Super sore. Taking it easy today and trying to finish Tangled Up in Brewing.
It will. My hands will get really sore.
Craft-related injury.
And I want to know, you said that the first one was probably one of the best cozies you've ever read for new books, new series. So I have to know if you're enjoying the second one as much.
And Tina says, I need to do a little bit of cleaning in my room and pick out an outfit tomorrow because I'll be voting for the first time.
Yay! That is a great rite of passage.
Oh, sweet.
Cool. Mm-hmm. And with that,
they give you a sticker that says, I voted.
We shall do a little reading sprint. And are you going to hang out, Tiffany, or are you going to pop off? Because I know you said
I'm going to go to bed.
she's tired.
Right, ma'am.
The time change is getting to her.
It is. I think it's getting to a lot of people.
Yes.
I said
I
I
will be
stayed
good
up
to
late.
go.
It didn't bother me. I stayed up late.
I'll probably be good to go in just a few days, but I am really just
I know.
dragging today. So
It's like, will this day ever end? The work day?
all right, everyone. Well, Storm, thank you very much. Sarah, it was good to see you. Bye, everyone. It was so
See you
good.
Wednesday. Bye.
Bye.
And happy reading, everyone.
Happy reading.
So how did everybody do?
I literally just finished my book and returned it to the library.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've read it before. It's a reread for me. So I think if I remember, it's probably going to be about a 4-star. I do like the series. I think it's a lot of fun.
That's cool. Yeah, I need to try that series. I've never tried it.
It is witchy, and it's a little more paranormal than, but it's not like shooting sparks out of your fingers paranormal. It's like, adding cinnamon to cookies to encourage love and stuff like that. That's the kind of
like kitchen witch type thing or something.
Exactly. Yes. It's cute. I like it. And the dog is adorable.
Cool.
How'd you do?
So I read a little bit of the Omnivore's Dilemma. I'm like 6% into it now. I didn't realize that it was like 460 something pages. So that one might take me a while. I may have to like re-up it at the library.
Well, you know what? That's the thing with nonfiction is that you don't have to read it straight through. Like you can read a little bit, take a break, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm like, what is wrong with me that sometimes I feel like it's a little bit more, I'm wanting to read it a little bit more than I'm wanting to read like my fiction, which is weird because I'm never a nonfiction reader, so that's kind of weird. But I also read a little bit on of Hoaxes and Homicide, and I'm like 16% into that one. So.
Nice.
Hopefully it's starting to get to where it's going to pick up a little bit because it's been a little bit slow.
That's
I really like the first one, and so like this one's starting off really slow, so I'm like, oh. But she's going to join sort of like a cult or whatever to try to figure out what's going on with this group.
Okay.
Because she answers letters. She's like a agony aunt.
Oh, okay.
And she had to take this over from her aunt who done it, so she has to do it now. And the first one led to like this murder mystery in the first one, and so she's been kind of like, I haven't had anything cool to do since the first, and everything. So now she had one that wrote to her mother about her daughter who's entered into this like cult like thing or whatever. And she doesn't know what to do. Well, then she finds out that person is actually a friend of her sister's. And so now she's like, oh, now I know. Whenever she's seen her, she's like, oh, now I know who the person is that's writing me. And so she's like,
okay,
I've got to go figure this out. And so she wants to go. So the only kind of way to do is like infiltrate, and to join this.
As one does.
Yes. So I'm hoping that means it's going to pick up a little bit and get a little bit more interesting.
Probably. Once you get a cult involved, it's usually pretty...
And it's funny because like this book writer writes these really fantasy type books about this cult or whatever.
Oh,
and so everybody's wanted to see them in the square because they were, he writes about sacrifices and rituals and all this stuff. And it's more like a earth environment. We are one with the earth kind of
yes.
thing. And everybody's like, boo,
that's boring.
They were wanting, what's in the books, the fiction.
Exactly. That's hilarious.
And her sister was like that too. And she's like, really, Sephora, do you really expect rituals in Hyde Park or whatever? Like some kind of sacrifice in the middle of the park.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So,
I love it.
And Jesse says, I'm having trouble walking, even using my cane, and hubby and my son have to come and help.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And she has fibromyalgia, and so they don't know if that's what's causing the excruciating pain in her legs or while she tries to walk or the medicine.
I'm so sorry.
And so she said, she described again to her, my son is paying for it as he wants me to stay put.
There you go.
So, yeah. And and that's like one of my problems too, is like, and my doctor has also said it a few times, is like, you've got to try to figure out how to lose the weight or you're going to end up like in a wheelchair. So I'm like, because I have a hard time getting around sometimes.
I was talking to my aunt
here, but
she's also heavier and she's got her physical tomorrow. And we were joking about it. And I said, and what's the doctor going to say? She's going to, that I got to lose weight and quit smoking. And I said, and what are you going to tell him? That he can shove it.
And the thing, and the weird thing is besides the fact that I have arthritis and that sometimes when I'm walking around I can't hardly breathe and my feet hurt and all those kind of things. Whenever they do like any kind of things, because you check thyroids, check this, check that, and he's like, "Well, you had the heart thing, right?" And I was like, "Yeah," and it come back with a 0. It was fine. He goes, "Oh, well, that's like excellent because I'm a 1, so he's worse off than I am."
Oh, really?
And everything, and all my he's like, "Yeah, you've had all these tests, kids, all this stuff, everything." I said, "I know. I'm like the healthiest fat person ever. I don't know what to do." I feel like something's wrong with me, but they can't figure it out.
That's like what they said to me when I was diagnosed. They're like, and talking about going on the transplant list and things like that, potentially. And they're like, other than the whole heart thing, you are in really good shape. Other than that minor little thing.
And and my mom passed away at the age of 50 and I'm 48. So that also worries me a little bit too. So I'm like, I gotta do something.
My mom's mom passed away when she was 64, and my aunt, my mom's sister, she said she really struggled that year. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like it was really weighing.
Well, my aunt did too, her sister, like the whole time she was so afraid of turning like 50. And so now I'm getting to that point where it's like, oh.
I know. It's hard, man. It's not easy, but it's worth it.
And Esther said to Jesse, "I'm diabetic," and it took the same for about 20. She took the same for about 20 years, no problem. Then had severe tiredness and went and fine now. Diabetes is fickle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Kay says, "Hi, I hope everything's well. Listening to the Fourth Wing, hoping to finish tonight before the new book comes out." And then she said, I don't know how you say it,
nudged, maybe something. I'm
maybe
thinking, I don't know.
Or she did something weird to the like. She's always doing something weird to the
noogled. She noogled. We'll make up the word.
And Jesse said that they put her on gabapentin, which I think my dad took that at one point in time. Getting old sucks, and I agree. And she says, "I came from a family of longevity, living like 90 to 100 years. That's pretty cool."
My grandmother lived to be 95 or something.
Wow. And Cajun said, "Finished my book. I was eyeball reading, but I wanted to listen to the interview with the author they always have at the end of these books. I really like that feature."
Nice.
And Jesse said, "Hi, Sarah."
Hello.
And Amy says, "I read 10 pages and made some hot chai tea." That sounds
yum.
And I think these are probably from the previous sprint.
Oh, yes, I think so.
So I may skip over those. And Esther said, "I am 74 and I am on Trulicity now. It sucks, but you do what you have to do. Hang in there." Yes.
This is true.
And Donna said, "Howdy, all reading The Lady from Burma, Sparks, and Bainbridge, number 5 to stay current with the series. Also, a good for her historathon, takes place in England right after."
Oh, nice.
And Lou said, "I started Anna Green Gables and have made it to page 48. You're right, Storm. She's a bit of drama queen, and the girl can talk Blue Street." Yes, she I'm like, she's got the most imaginative mind ever.
I think that's why so many people like Anna Green Gables.
Yeah, and I'm curious, after I read it, then I will try like the movie or something, or the TV show, the Anne with an E or something.
I know growing up,
because I'm like, well, they're based on books, so I can't try them.
Well, that's it. One of my very, very good friends growing up, she was obsessed. They were like, her favorite books were the Anne of Green Gables books.
Yeah, and and I've heard so much about them from everybody else. I mean, I kind of feel like I kind of know the character. I just didn't know that she was so Gabby. And the Purple Rainheart said, "Finished Caramel Crush and started Death in the Stacks." Cool.
Excellent.
Crystal made it to 132 and to Walk in Sunshine. And Esther said that Toulouse loves Anne. Sorry, missed the welcome back. Was finishing chapter, read about 45 pages.
Well done.
To go. Hey. And Chrissy said, "Yum, Sarah. Our household made a good sounding." Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Household made a good sounding.
That was husband. He even did laundry today. It was a big day.
Wow.
I know, right?
And Lou says, "Yay, it's my first read." Yeah. Another hello to Sarah.
Hello.
And Sonia says, "Hi, Sarah. I hope you're feeling better. You ladies inspired me to sign up for a knitting club."
Yay! If you ever need tips or anything, just reach out. Let me know.
And Jessie says, "I love Anne and all her dramatic theatrics." And Sonia says, "Cordelia, yeah, that's it. She wanted to be called Cordelia because that was a cool name. So she's trying, can you call me Cordelia?" And the lady, she's a little kind of abrupt too. Like the man kind of liked her because he had to listen to her talk all the way to the house.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "I don't know how I'm going to explain this to my wife that we have a girl instead of a boy," kind of a thing, you know. But he's kind of like, "Well, she's kind of fun," but the wife she's like, "Well, we don't need her. She's and everything." But she's like, "What's your name?" And she's like, "I'd like to be called Cordelia. I think Cordelia is like a really cool name. Don't you think Cordelia is like a really cool name?" I think, and then she's like, "No, what's your name?" It's like, and that's why she was all like, "Aunt Shirley."
I love it.
Yeah, and so you're love that you're enjoying it in the Lake of Shining Waters. Yes, it's like named after like the person who owns it or whatever. And she's
Yes.
like, "I like the Lake of Shining Waters." And all the talk of Anne makes me so happy. Annie says, "I've watched Anna Green Gables so many times. It used to be on YouTube. I'm putting it on my Christmas list. The one from the 80s has beautiful music and the scenery."
Nice.
Kath said, "Read the first Noodle Shop mystery and it looks like is heading to a love triangle territory, so didn't continue. Can you tell me if the love triangle is resolved so that I can pick up with the series from there?"
There is no love triangle.
It's one of those things like Julianne Lindsay does. It makes you think there's going to be something and then there's not.
She's in a relationship with one of them, but while she's very much in that relationship, the other person does have a crush and tends to flirt with her, and it does annoy her very much. And she's like, "Dude, I'm with this guy," right? So I can tell you it's not a Hannah Swenson situation. There's no love triangle.
See, I knew Ro would know these things because I knew she liked that. She says, "Just for the first 8 Orchard audiobooks, use the audio book. I can't speak. Audible exclusive. They weren't anymore, but it looks like Audible might be your best bet. I love the books on audio." But she said the narrator changed from books 9 to 12, so she got to eat.
Now, I wonder if that has something to do with the fact that those are the only ones available on Hoopla. Like, like the author has their rights or whatever, but I wonder if the narrator has a say. You know what I mean?
Well, and sometimes if it's like I've had this happen because like I review for Tantor Audio. Well, if the book, like in half of it, like they do like books 1 through 8, but then it gets picked up by a different audio place, I think they have to change narrators.
Makes sense.
Because I've had that, like, I read this one series up to then, and then they never came out with it again. And I'm like, "Oh, I wonder why they're not doing it." Well, then later I found it again, but it was like recorded books or something, and they had a different narrator. And I was like, "Oh, that must be like why they have to like."
It must be like movie studios, because like an actor will be contracted under that movie studio. So these voice actors are probably contracted under this specific like recorded books or Tantor Audio or whatever.
It might be something like that.
That's interesting to think about.
And I like this. Even though Tiffany's not here anymore, says, "I came back. I'm sure Tiffany made a wisecrack about not including Sarah in my greeting. So I rolls anyway." Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Melmac.
She did make a wisecrack while you were gone. Yes. And then Ro, even though she's not here, Ro said the Kindle Fire 7 the new version is $60, and I personally think text to speech sounds worse. Everybody's ears are different.
Exactly. And I also think it's the device too, right?
Yeah, it could be.
Because the text to speech on here with A sounds different on the text to speech on something else with A.
Yeah. And that's weird, but yeah. And Karen says, hi, Storm, hi, Tiff, hi, Sarah. A bit late tonight. I'm reading A Tale of Two Cities by Dickens.
Well done.
We're kind of late in the comments because Tiffany's not. The green, Sony says, green stalks are stacked container garden system.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's it. That you can use to grow your own fruits, veggies.
That is awesome.
And hello, reading and retail. Riri says, hello, book people.
Hello.
And Rose says, Tiffany, I know how to have Alexa app choose the book you want. We're gonna learn something. Even though Tiffany's not here, we're gonna learn.
We'll tell her later.
I use Better Than Bouillon roasted chicken pasta, which was delicious. So it still has sodium, but easier to control than a cube.
Yes. Yes.
And so she says, okay, so on the app, there's a small keyboard icon to left. Type read book title, and she will start the book or resume where you were. So you can adjust the speed there. I never thought, there is a little keyboard that you could type what you want to read maybe in there.
I did try it because I saw the comments. So when we were on Sprints, I tried it. The issue is that if, like, for example, I typed in the book that I'm currently reading, A Victorian Family Christmas. Because I have an Audible book with the word Christmas in the title, it started playing that. It will try and default to anything on Audible, it sounds like, before it'll jump into anything. So I don't know how to fix that. But one of the books I was able to find. I was just playing around with random book titles, and one I was able to find. It was pretty cool. So thank you for that, Ro.
And Mother Goose said Stormy might like the book Intuitive Eating. So I looked that one up because I seen that so that I could tag it in my little nonfiction. Because if I don't do it now, then I won't remember afterwards.
Yeah. What were we talking about? What happened?
Yeah, pretty much. So it's like, I better look and see if it's on Libby. If it is, I need to tag it. So. And Kay said, thanks for the sprints. You're welcome. And says, reading retail says, I love these. Why am I not sprinting? Because like everybody else, you get like to doing something else.
Right.
Crystal says, just finished to Walk in Sunshine by Sally Lady. It ended on what felt like a cliffhanger 2 stars.
Oh, that's disappointing.
And Bar says you can gain weight on metformin. I take Jardiance and Victoza, and I've lost 50 pounds. Yeah, and they wanted to put Dad on Jardiance, and he went to go pick it up at like Walgreens, and they're like, that's $500, and he goes, put it back.
Oh my word.
He's like, I can't afford that. And I was with his insurance or whatever. He's like, put it back. He's like,
wow.
So yeah, so we couldn't do the Jardiance things. And he told his doctor, he's like, I don't know what you're trying to do to me, but I can't afford that. Yeah, so
even with insurance up here, a lot of times they will give you, unless the doctor specifically states, they will give you the generic brand of whatever it is. Yeah, just to save you some money.
PK says, hi, y'all. Reading A Traitor in Whitehall by Julie Kelly. It's the first in the new historical mystery series set during World War II, reminiscent of Susan
probably.
McNeil series. I'm 51% liking it so far. Always a plus. Yes, that's
absolutely.
And Tina says, I was procrastinating by starting another crocheting project and watching Ted Lasso.
Absolutely acceptable.
And Amy read 20 pages. I'm at 8%. Woo! You're getting there. And Jessica said, I read 15 pages and watched a few YouTube shorts. And Purple Rain, 28 pages and Death in the Stacks.
Nice.
And Donna says she's on page 145 of 320. A lady from Burma getting close to 50%. And Barbara says 467 pages. Is it a novel?
No, Barb, for you, that's a novella.
It's a very long nonfiction. he's long-winded. Well, he's very scientific too. Because I'm like, okay, this sounds cool, and I kind of thought, but I cannot explain to anybody else.
That's why you got to take them slow, right? To really like absorb it.
And because right now, I guess he takes 4. It says 4 different meals, so I'm thinking it's maybe 4 either different like a vegetable and maybe a meat and maybe something, I don't know, and seeing from little bitty seed to what happens to it before it gets to you, kind of a thing.
Oh, okay.
And so yeah, so it's like we're doing corn right now, and that's why I'm like, corn isn't everything. And corn's not good for like people with diabetes because
my mom's.
I'm like, well, no wonders, Dad has problems still because it's like corn's and everything in your toothpaste and your one. And I'm like,
I never even thought about that, like that, how much sugar is in corn. Like it's crazy. You figure, oh, it's corn, it's got to be healthy for you.
You think? And Rose had made dinner chicken nuggets and rice and
Ooh, no, now you're talking, Ro. That sounds.
I haven't had rice-a-roni in like forever. And Jessica Lynn says, I love Bailey Kate's series. Love the twist on the paranormal aspects.
Agreed.
And Annie says, it made it to 58%. Wasn't feeling like I was making much progress. And I noticed the book is 444 pages. I am used to those short cozies. I know. See, that was like me with that book. I'm like, I'm only 6% into it. But then you look at it and it's like, oh, well, it's like 406 orders. I thought I was reading and reading and reading.
I agree. I know Tiffany said this once. Cozies and romances should not be more than 300 pages. They don't need to be. If you can't tell the story in less than 300 pages, you're doing it wrong.
And I think that's like some of my problem when it comes to Poppy McAllister series, because her books are like pretty long, and I'm like, is it over yet?
Hey, if Tanya Kappas can write a story in 5.5 minutes and publish it, anybody else can do it too.
And Mother Goose says, didn't read. Locked out of my MacBook. Apple can be so frustrating. Oh no. And Jessica Lynn said to Ro, I have that like once a week. And Ro said, it was a great quick dinner. Yeah. PK said, Storm, eat like a bear food plan. It works. I have looked into that. Eat like a bear. She eats like one big meal.
That's
like
my husband
or whatever and stuff.
Garrett and I are the complete opposite. He will be happy just eating literally one big meal, whereas me, I eat like 6 small meals throughout the day. It's weird the way. So like we almost never have dinner together. Like he made dinner, I ate. He will eat later. That's what works.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, as long as it works.
Exactly.
And Donna says, so good to hear that you're in good health other than your heart condition, Sarah. Your body is taking care of you. Give it a hug.
I'm perfectly healthy, except for that, bum ticker.
Little issue there. Jessica Lynn said, yes, Sarah, we have a lot of romance similarities. I'm super excited about the new Christina Lauren.
Yay.
And PK says, Marilla is his sister. Not sure what what we're talking about. And he said, I'm going to get off now. My phone is dying and my charger is on the other side of the room. Well, that is a good reason to get off.
Yeah.
And it says, thank you for the sprints and night, everyone. Jessica Lynn says to Ro, thanks for the audiobook help. I will just read them physically.
Yeah.
And she messaged Tiffany about Alexa on Discord.
Oh, good.
Okay. Now, she was telling me yesterday, Ro, that she was having Discord issues. So if you don't hear anything from her, or I don't know. Because I had to email her like the link for tonight because she didn't think she'd get it on Discord. And said, Rose said, I hope you enjoy, Jessica. The series is very cozy. I'm sure it will. And Barb says, Storm, your dad needs a tier reduction. I do them all the time. The manufacturers can give deep discounts. I know nothing when it comes to that stuff. Medicine stuff. And Mother Goose says, I'm diabetic and take Monjaro before insurance. it's $1,500. Yeah, and that's the shot to lose weight. And see, I was asking my doctor about that too, and he's like, it's like really expensive. And I'm like, and they only do the one that starts with an O. Can't remember. Ozempic, I think. And I hear all kinds of bad things about that one, so I'm like, oh. But my cousin does the Manjaro, and she's like went from here to here in like a year. She's lost a lot of weight.
Wow.
And Barb says, I meant novella. Stupid spell check.
I knew where you were going with that, Barb.
And Jessica, Mother Goose, and oh, yeah. Expensive meds. Jessica Lynn says, same with like carrots. Like there's so much sugar in carrots. Yes. There's so much sugar.
Yes.
And PK said, on the other side of the spectrum, my AM show, it is under 100 pages. I don't read the description, not even a novella to me. It is idea of the story. Blah, cranky when I see them.
Oh, so she's not a fan of novellas. That's fair. Yeah. That's fair.
And PK said, Anne of Green Gables. Oh, Morella is Matthew's sister. Sister's not white. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, see, I was paying good attention whenever I was like, I just know they were together and they have a farm and they needed help. So I guess I just kind of threw it together that way. PK says, my husband's diabetic, has been since the early 20s. Insulin skyrocketed in the last 2 or 3 years, even after insurance. Yeah, and the thing with like insulin and stuff, I hate a lot of people that have been like, keto and this and that and all that stuff have been using those things that you put on, to check their blood sugar like all the time. Yes. And then they're in short supply for like people that really need them.
Yeah.
And yes, Crystal said it's Ozempic, and they had to take my grandma off of it because she quit eating and lost too much weight.
Oh no.
Yeah, like my cousin the holidays last year or whatever it is, like she just picked things that were protein and stuff and tried to stay away from the carbs because she didn't eat very much either. She had like these little bitty pieces like things or whatever it is. So yeah, you don't eat much on those, and that's why you lose the weight so quickly, but it's probably not healthy for like grandmas. Probably.
Well, on the non-drug part of it, my sister-in-law's mother had the stomach shrinking thing, the band or whatever, years ago. And she lost a ton of weight real quick, which is what happens. Mm-hmm. She's gained so much of it back because it doesn't stop you from eating bad. It just stops you from, but you can regrow your stomach.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I think that's like what especially early on when weight loss procedures were going, like they didn't, when all this stuff wasn't like, because now you can look on the internet and you can find all about other people's like experiences. But yeah, I don't think some people, they didn't tell them that, your stomach will grow back if you keep eating a whole bunch of food. It's supposed to keep you from not eating. It's like I had a cousin like a long time ago, like in the 90s probably or something, or even maybe 80s. She had the liposuction because that was like a big thing.
Yes.
And everything. But she didn't eat properly. And so she gained like all the way back. And it's like, it's like you got to learn how to eat properly. And it's like, if I can't learn how to eat properly, then I probably shouldn't have the weight loss surgery to begin with. And like the kind of like insurance type thing I have or whatever, it would pay for like the weight loss surgery, which is crazy, but it won't pay for like, having my feet looked at or something. And I'm like, if my feet didn't hurt so bad, I'd probably walk more. Or I could probably do this,
like
or I could probably do that. I might be able to eat.
Well, my stepdaughter is really heavy. Like, I mean, really heavy. And I know a couple years ago she was looking into it, but up here, I don't know if it's the same for down there. You have to actually start losing a bit of weight on your own. And you have to do like courses and like how to eat.
Which you have to take nutrition courses or whatever.
Yes. So,
yeah, because I was watching some YouTubers who had that surgery and all that stuff. Because I'm like, I need to like know about these things, and I don't know. That kind of stuff just scares me. Having them go in and do stuff to my tummy and.
I know. Any kind of surgery is scary.
Like, And PK says, eat like a bear. Picture 3 boxes. The first box, your body eats the calories from food. When empty, it goes to the second box and eats the sugar in your body. A third box, it starts to eat the fat stored in the cells. And then we'll just go down here real quick.
Mm-hmm.
If you eat again after your 1 meal a day of about 1,500 calories, the process starts over again and it stops working on the stored fat. An hour of eating the calories you need in a day. 23 hours of intermittent fasting. It gives your body a chance to feast on your fat cells. I've lost 100 pounds.
Agree to disagree. Fasting, intermittent fasting, it's not for everybody. Let me put it that way. If you've got other medical conditions, you really should be one of those. Talk to your doctor. But in all, I'm not. If I don't have breakfast, I could pass out. So.
Yeah, I'm like one of those too. Like if I don't eat something like when I first get up in the morning, I get really nauseous.
Yeah. I knew a girl that I used to work with. I've been following her still on Facebook, and she's doing this intermediate fasting where she's going like days. And I'm like, that does not seem healthy to me. I can see the 23 hours, what she's saying, but I can't see days. Like she did one that was 60 hours. I'm like,
yeah,
why?
Well, there is.
Well done, PK. Sorry, I want to jump in and say that. Well done for you.
Yeah, there are benefits to intermittent fasting, and I like some said like it replaces your brain cells. Like so some people that are having mental problems and stuff.
Okay.
Fasting and things like that, it does something to that. But I don't think it's something I could do like every day because, like I told it, I can do it once or twice where I don't eat breakfast or I drink a shake and don't eat like a whole lot or something. But yeah, I can't.
I wonder if that's kind of where all this started was those NutriShake things. Remember those?
Slim Fast.
Yes, that's it. Thank you. I couldn't remember what it's called.
And Crystal said with her grandma, she would only eat once a day, and it would cause her to have a gallbladder removed. Her sugar would bottom out. Yeah, because that kind of stuff is definitely not for everybody.
Absolutely.
And Donna says, "Must sign off to prepare supper. Thank you so much for the sprints. It helped restart reading this book that is overdue at the library. The sprint means a lot to me, all of them. Well, I'm glad you had.
So glad,
Donna." And now I gotta find where I was because I went down and
skip over the yeah, there you go.
And Jessica Lynn says, my mom had surgery after my grandma had it successfully, and my mom did great for about a year, and then she just started gaining it all back because she was so inactive and just sits. Yeah,
that's right.
If you're going to do something like that, then you have to be like really dedicated and on it and stuff. Like I was watching like that My 600-Pound Life or whatever it is, and like even some of the weight loss people, they're like, you can tell if you watch that, you can tell who's going to gain the weight back or who's not going to get the surgery. That guy won't even do the surgery on them or whatever or something, because if they don't want to put in the work at the beginning,
that's right,
then they're not going to want to do it after the surgery.
It's so true.
And PK said, true, Sarah.
Yeah. Talk to your doctor.
Yep. And Crystal said she would eat one. Oh, I read that one already. And she said her meal was at breakfast.
Oh, see, it would be mine too. Breakfast is I could eat breakfast. Like I love eggs and toast for dinner and delicious.
And Liz said, congrats to you, PK.
Yes, PK. That's awesome.
And Jessica says, I'm the same. I need to eat at least once in the morning and once at night so that I don't get lightheaded. Breakfast of 1,500 calories. You can drink throughout the day and definitely not long-term. I'm on pause right now.
When you said drink throughout the day, all I thought was like she's doing shots of vodka. that would make me forget that I'm not eating either.
Yeah, I'm not feeling the fact that my tummy says I'm hungry.
I feel fantastic, doctor. My liver's shot, but I feel great. Oh, too funny.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah. So we are at the end of the comments, at least as of right now.
Yes.
So do you have anything cool coming up on your channel?
Yes, I do. It's coming up tomorrow. The same thing I think that you do.
Oh, yeah.
Video.
Yes.
So, yes, that's what's coming up tomorrow.
And she said too many calories, Sarah. And not lying, not that.
Right?
Yeah. And she said, right, day drinking might.
I'm going to write a book and I'll make millions. This is my new weight loss. Hey, there are stupider weight loss things.
Yeah.
And vodka comes from potatoes. So, that's healthy.
There you go. Okay. Well,
anything other than tomorrow's announcement? Do you have anything else coming out, Storm?
I need to edit my, I did a recent reads because it's not really a weekly wrap up because since October ended and all that kind of stuff. So I did the 2 books that I read for October in my October Expo. I was like, well, just a recent read. But I need to edit it so that I can get it up at some point.
Editing is fun.
And go for it.
I'll put you all in the dedication.
Okay, so thanks everybody for hanging. Oh, and Sarah, are you doing a live
Wednesday? Wednesday, I'll be doing sprints.
Wednesday,
7 p.m.
And this is what a way to end the sprint. Thanks.
Yeah, day drinking.
Yeah. Okay, so thanks for hanging out with me and everything, and we shall say goodbye. Bye.
Bye, everybody.